Hi, I'm David from Two Wheels In. Behind me there, that's Debenham Road. It's steep, it's twisty, it's potholed, and somehow it's still there. Before the highway came through, this was the main road going west from Gosford. If you weren't on a train or a ferry, this was it. And then came the highway, which went through and cut Debenham Road clean in half. Today, I'm riding both halves, kind of chasing down the history, seeing what is left behind. European colonists arrived in Gosford in 1823. And like most of their movements across the continent, it wasn't so much settlement, it was invasion. This was Darkinjung country, and while there aren't many records of direct conflicts here, that doesn't mean there wasn't evidence, it just means it wasn't written down. Gosford developed slowly. In the early days, timber was the main industry. Ironbark, blackbutt and blue gum felled and floated down to the mills. Later, orchards and citrus took over, but the town was hemmed in. There was no direct road link to Sydney, just the Great North Road, which ran miles inland through Wiseman's Ferry and Wollombi. If you were on the coast, you were pretty much on your own. Up on the plateau was a place known as Woodlands, what we now call Somersby. It was rough country, thick bush, steep ridges and narrow gullies. It's not clear exactly when Europeans began farming it, but by the 1860s and 70s there were enough settlers here to start pushing for proper access. One of the early tracks linking the two areas was called Mountain Road. It ran from Gosford up the ridge and onto the plateau. That road was later named Debenham Road, and it became the main inland link, not to Sydney, but to the farms and sawmills up there. Then in 1925, the Department of Main Roads was formed, and one of their first jobs was the Pacific Highway, which ran from Sydney to Newcastle. It was completed in 1931, sealed, scenic, and just about modern. It connected Sydney and Gosford directly, but it was steep, narrow and winding, designed for Model Ts, not trucks. Still, it left Debenham Road behind. In 1951, the Pacific Motorway arrived. Designed for speed, it cut straight across the old route, slicing Debenham Road in two. It was never reconnected. What had been one continuous track was now Debenham Road North and South, two dead ends with a 6-lane freeway in the middle. These days, most drivers don't even know it was there. But if you can ride it, really ride it, you can still feel what it once was. A road carved into the hill, winding up through time. Alright, so here is Debenham Road, former mountain road. This lower section you can really see the 19th century engineering that went into it. It's steep, it's now potholed because no one takes care of it. Well, a surprising number of people use it. I think they're trying to beat the lights. But you can only do this at, 30 or 40 kilometres an hour at parts. As you'll see in this next corner coming up, which is the big switchback here, which I hope to do without falling off. It's a switchback on an angle, which yep. Kind of performance anxiety just doing it while you're filming. Usually I can do it a lot better than that, a lot more confidently. Here's the second corner here. That was the really hard bit to build, I think. This rest of it is still inclined but straight, except for obviously these kind of corners. It's a fun little road to ride. And this area up here is actually a lot better maintained for some reason. Not quite sure why. But Billie handles this kind of stuff really well. And this would have been the nice flat bit at the top. You can still see it's still a narrow road. That there is the road that leads back to the main road. You can't actually get all the way up to the freeway here because there's a work zone, as you can see just there. I did try filming it before and I got turned back, so you can see just there, that's Debenham Road continuing up there. Just over there you can see the highway. You probably can't see any cars at the moment, but this was where Debenham Road came out the other side and just went over there. We're just going to now ride the rest of it up to Somersby, which was known as Woodlands at the time. For the second part of the ride, I've got Christo on the back. So my poor little 25 horsepower Himalayan isn't as fast. Yes, mate?
Where's your bell?
My what?
Where's your bell?
Oh, it's in the boot. It's in the pannier. Hey?
All good.
So this is still part of Debenham Road, but it's a lot wider now. If you haven't been this way before, I'm assuming it comes out somewhere. Look at this. So this was at the top of the plateau of the road that existed in 1917, and I'm not quite sure how much before that it existed, but it looks like 19th century engineering to me. I'm not quite sure where this comes out. I know it eventually turns right and becomes part of what's now Wiseman's Ferry Road, I think. So the road originally would have turned right here before Wiseman's Ferry Road existed. Oh no, here we are. So this is quite close to Woodford or Somersby. Oh. And this little circuit I do that involves these roads as well. You see, this road is a solid 20th century road, really. You can see up here, it's still a little bit up and down, but still manageable by turn of the century cars and horses and drays and whatnot. Now this is interesting because up here originally the road went straight ahead, but this road now cuts left, which was originally part of one large farm across there, likely an orchard. But that road ahead of us is the original Debenham Road. It's now got no through road. I'm not sure what that guy was stopping for. Oh, he's stopping because he's got something off there. But this was originally just a farm road. So if we want to get to Somersby, we now have to go a bit left along what were originally farm roads. But this was probably one of the orchards. You can see it's old old land. Well, it's all old land, isn't it? But so this was originally the farm road that was off Mountain Road, or Debenham Road. And Debenham Road came in there along the left. If you look at the old maps, these farm roads were dead straight. Maybe coaches and cars didn't cope well with the ups and downs, although they coped with it back in Debenham Road South. But this really is a lovely road to ride. I will do a circuit one day. I've got this great little circuit that I do. I'll do that in a future video. And welcome to what was Woodford and is now Somersby. That's the Somersby School. Oh, just pulling there. It's a forgotten road, cracked, patched and mostly ignored, but it still tells a story about how we got here, about what we paved over. The highway might have won, but this old road didn't disappear. It just waits, steep, twisty and still talking, if you're willing to listen.